him in there so he would go to sleep. She would pop him in there when she just wanted him to go to sleep for no reason. But the main reason it is when it happened is she would pop NyQuil in his Mountain Dew so he could go to sleep, and then she would take me and Caitlin to a guy's house that she was cheating on my dad with. Now, mind you, we're friends with the guy that she's cheating on. We're friends with his son. And we would all just hang out in the house like nothing was going on while she just cheats on my dad. And Josh would be left at home to watch my dad to make sure he doesn't wake up. And if he does, to make sure he's not on the phone talking to anybody, make sure he's not watching any shows that Felicia wouldn't want him to watch, meaning like the shows Felicia watch. Any show that has a woman on the screen, no. Basically just to watch Dave and make sure he's doing what Felicia wants him to do while she's out cheating on him. I used to have to rub her back anytime she took a poop. And I'm not talking before she had a poop, after, I'm talking during. Her on the toilet, me rubbing her back. Regardless how long it took, sometimes she sat there for an hour because she was on her phone. Rubbing her back while she's pooping. Like a kid. I just that's insane. I don't know. Start of 9th grade, she shaved my head. When I was younger, I had long hair like I do now. When we met her, she cut my hair. I wasn't allowed to have long hair, but in the 9th grade, I really wasn't allowed to have hair. The whole thing is she wanted her daughter to get all the attention, all the glory, all the praise, along with herself, because she likes getting compliments about her and Caitlin looking alike and things like that. And she just wanted me to be humiliated, not get compliments. She just didn't want me to get attention, I guess. She wanted me to feel worthless. Everybody just looked over me and went straight to Caitlin. And that's how I felt, honestly. But, yeah, so she told me and my mom that I wanted the Miley Cyrus haircut. And she was telling my mom that I really wanted this, and my mom was like, no, because also my mom knows me. I'm not a short hair person. And yeah, Felicia's just like, yeah, you do. So one night she decides to take me to a barber shop, and she proceeds to tell me that she's taking me to a barber shop because she knows how much I love my hair, and she can't cut it off. She just can't do that to me. And so I was super confused, and I'm just like, what do you mean? Why are you cutting my hair then? Why are you making me do this? But of course, didn't say anything. And yeah, I just looked like a boy. I absolutely hated myself in the 9th grade. I always looked bad in her care, but I think the 9th grade, 10th grade, truly, I looked like a little boy, in my opinion. Yeah. She loved to pop my pimples. There was one time where she would, if she would just say, I want to pop your pimples, or what, if I was sitting down next to her, she would just start popping, or I would just sit down next to her so she could start popping, because like I said, what she said goes. There's no telling her no. And if you did, it would be scary. Which I never know, because I've never told her no, because out of fear, but I believe that she would do something. But yeah, so, well, actually, I guess I did tell her no, because she was popping my face, and I told her that it hurt. Could she please stop? And I ended up moving her hand, because, the pain, it was initial reaction, and I went like that, and I just immediately was up, and I was just like, I'm so sorry, and she threw me on the ground, got on top of me, pinned me down from my wrist, and, got this close to my face. I'm sorry that I'm laughing, but and said that I will never be stronger than her, and I'm basically a little weak bitch. And after that, well, she made me repeat it back to her that she's stronger than me, and then she goes, go to bed. I went to bed. It was, yeah, I went to bed a lot those nights, just after getting yelled at or cussed at and saying I'm ugly, stupid, worthless, whatever, gets into bed and just I had to cry in silence because I shared a room with Caitlin still. I shared a room my whole life with her besides that 1 week. And, yeah, if she heard me crying, like, she would tell Felicia. And obviously, if Felicia knew that I was crying, she'd give me a reason to cry about, because the things she did to make me cry just weren't an actual reason to cry, I guess. There was a kid that we went to school with named Luke. Caitlin dated him for a short amount of time. Caitlin dated a lot of guys. Every single week that she would get broken up with, she would date another guy. But there was one guy named Luke. We were in drama class together, and I think this was 10th grade, and very, very sweet kid. He didn't have the greatest home life, but we ended up taking him to Florida with us one weekend, and Felicia went through his phone while him and Caitlin were away from the condo, and found pictures of him and his ex-girlfriend and their family all together at their small town fireworks show that they had the week before or whatever. And Felicia goes ballistic, saying that he's cheating on Caitlin, her daughter, and whatever. They get back to the hotel room. She throws his phone across the hotel room after confronting him, and he said nothing went on. And or I think maybe he said that they were just hanging out and talking. Regardless, whatever. Throws his phone across the hotel room, slams him into the wall by his neck, choking him out, and calling his dad, saying that you can buy your son a train ticket from Florida because we're leaving him here. And he's probably 15. And yeah, that was scary. Which she didn't end up leaving him. But yeah. Morning routine, night routine. Morning routine, basically, like during school days and stuff, I'd have to wake up before my dad did, because my dad worked mornings. Yeah, at this time my dad was working mornings, so I would get up at like 4:30 in the morning, and I would get all of his medication together, get his lunch together, get his breakfast together, get his clothes together, and I would get sent back downstairs to go to bed so Felicia looked like she did it. And then when he left, I'd have to get back up, and I'd have to do laundry, clothes. I'd have to pick out Josh's clothes. I'd have to make their lunches, Caitlin and Josh's lunches. I'd have to wake Josh up. I'd have to get anything Felicia needs. If, like, Felicia was sitting on the floor and on the couch having Caitlin do her hair, like, they would straighten each other's hair in the morning. If she needed an oil that was on the TV in front of her, she didn't want to get it, obviously. She's not getting up. She would call me from up downstairs to get it. And, like, there were a lot of times, like, basically cleaning for me during that period of time was, like, an escape from them. So it's, like, I cleaned so much, and obviously, like, what teenager wants to come home and clean? But it was either that, like, that was my escape from them, I guess, because when I was cleaning, they weren't making fun of me. They weren't bullying me, like, because I would clean things that were, like, not around them, I guess. But yeah, so do all that, make all the lunches, eat. In the morning, I had to eat 2 peanut butter sandwiches for breakfast, plus actual breakfast, and then sometimes I'd have to eat another one on the way to school. The reason I'd have to eat peanut butter sandwiches, because Felicia said I was too skinny. That was also another reason why I was not allowed to try out for any school sports. I was not allowed to do any sports. I wasn't allowed to do school activities, no nothing. I wasn't allowed to exercise, go on walks. I was too skinny. And so I'd have to eat peanut butter sandwiches when I'd have to pack one for lunch, which I never ate them at lunch. But I'd also have to eat one right after school sometimes. Depends on Felicia's mood. But I'd always have to eat one before dinner, and then always one right before bed, plus actual dinner. And then if Caitlin had leftovers, Felicia felt like making me eat them, I'd eat them. So, sorry, I'm just like talking about my morning routine and the force feeding all in one time. But basically do everything. I would get ready within like the first or like the last 5 to 10 minutes we had before we had to leave for school. And I just throw on an outfit, or Felicia would pick it out. And mind you, couldn't brush my teeth, couldn't shower, couldn't put deodorant on, couldn't do makeup. I was not allowed to do makeup, couldn't put deodorant on. Like, I just did what I was told, basically, and what I wasn't told I didn't do. My night routine when I came home from school, mind you, I would always get in trouble when I got picked up for school, regardless if I did anything wrong or not. Like, I always knew I would get in trouble. Like, I would get in trouble if Caitlin or Josh got to the car before me. I would get in trouble if I wasn't at the car within like a minute after the bell rang. I would get in trouble if Caitlin saw me talking to somebody I wasn't supposed to be talking to, meaning like one of my friends or somebody that doesn't like Caitlin. Felicia would tell me that, well, teachers said that you were wearing makeup today, and like acting like emails or teachers are emailing her that I'm wearing makeup, which at the time I believed. So that's why I also believe that she had eyes everywhere. But like, I wasn't wearing makeup, but in my mind, I'm like, I have no idea. Like, there was one time where I did wear mascara. I put it on the first period, and then I like was doing this all throughout school, like through the days, so I could take it off. And that was one of the days she said a teacher said I wore makeup. So in my mind, I'm just like, maybe they are like saying this stuff to Felicia. But I'd always get in trouble. So nighttime routine, go home, eat a peanut butter sandwich. I clean. I didn't do homework. I just do whatever. And then every single night, me, Felicia, and Caitlin would go somewhere, meaning like sometimes we would go to the movies, sometimes we would go shopping, sometimes go get food and stuff, but like we were never just at home. And but she would always leave Josh at home to watch David. But whenever we got back home, back to cleaning. When my dad was awake, we would all watch a movie together. And we wouldn't even really watch the movie together because she popped the NyQuil in my dad's Mountain Dew, so he would go to bed. Yeah, and then more cleaning, more eating, and then I would have to massage her for hours. I would have to massage her feet, her legs, her arms, her neck, her back, her butt, her toes, anything while she's laying down watching TV shows, while she's laying down going to sleep. Like, and she always slept on the couch, so I would sit on the arm of the couch while she laid on her belly, and I would just massage her for hours. And there were times where she fell asleep, so I stopped. I would fall asleep because it's probably like 11 o'clock. I got woken up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. And if she woke back up, she would kick me to wake me back up to start massaging her again. Felicia, I don't know if the proper way to word this, but my friend, while I was in the 9th grade or 10th grade, she would, of my friend, yeah, don't know why, but she did. She also, her daughter was on the cheer team, and like her daughter got to like do everything a normal teenager got to do. But since her daughter was on the cheer team, Caitlin got to like shave her legs. Now, mind you, we're in high school. She told me that I was only allowed to shave to my knee, and if I shaved any more, it would make me a whore, and it would be me telling the guys that I'm ready to have. So, just wasn't allowed to shave. I don't know. She's just ill in the head. It was one time, and we were all sleeping in the living room, me, Caitlin, and Felicia, and they were laying on the couches, and I was laying on the floor, and I had a peanut butter sandwich before bed. They were either not paying attention, someone wasn't in the room, they were asleep, I don't know, but I put the crust of the peanut butter sandwich under my pillow that was on the floor, and I was just, because obviously I wake up early in the morning. When Felicia wakes me up initially, she goes and lays down in the bed with my dad, regardless if she fell asleep on the couch the night before. So during that time, I was like, okay, well, I'll just crust away. No, Caitlin decided she wanted my pillow, so she rips it off from my head on the floor, and they see the pizza crust, or the peanut butter crust, sorry. And she tells my dad that I have molded food under my bed, and at the time we had like some bugs in our room, and she told my dad that's the reason we had the bugs, and got a spanking. There was another time I got a spanking where, and now they would like, I say they, it would be my dad, but Felicia would be the one to like make me get the spanking. It would always be a belt, or Felicia would make me go pick a witch or a switch off of a tree. And I'm the only one that got spankings. Caitlin and Josh never. One reason is because Felicia was like, those are my kids. You're not putting hands on my kids. And two, they just did nothing wrong. They were perfect goddesses. But yeah, no, one of the guys that we were friends with, that Felicia was cheating on my dad with his dad, Caitlin and him dated for a little while. They broke up, whatever. One day after drama class, he grabs my hand, because we're all friends, mind you. We go over to his house while the parents are doing it, you know what I mean? And so we've all hung out multiple times. He grabs my hand, we start skip-scopping, whatever, down the hallway. Caitlin saw. Caitlin texted Felicia. Felicia told my dad that I was all over a guy was trying to kiss me, yada yada yada, got a spanking. So it was just things like that like I didn't do anything wrong, but she would make it out to my dad that I was just this whore, troubled child. And yeah, speaking of like whore, one of my best friends at the time, the one that had noticed the ring and had said that they found that in the field, she was gay. And so there was an event that we were going to for Walking Tall. And mind you, also the only time she really wanted anybody or like people to be around is for help for the Walking Tall, because she's not doing anything. She doesn't want to do anything. Felicia has no, just like no motivation to get up and actually do something. But anyway, so she's over there. We're all about to leave. Everybody gets in the RV. Me and Felicia are still in the house because I'm doing some like last minute things for Felicia. And she stops me at the door and she goes, "You need to fix yourself. You need to have a talk with God." And I was just like, "What?" And she said, "If you're gay, you need to fix it right now, because you're going to hell. Or you're going to go to hell. You're going to burn in hell." And I was just like, okay. But, so she, starts threatening me to, and like, this is also another thing, like, after the car incident, saying, she's my worst nightmare and stuff like that. She was threatening me to send me to a boot camp, for troubled girls. And it was like an all, like, legit boot camp. Now, looking back, I don't believe she would have done that. Like, I believe it was just, like, to scare me. But it did. And, yeah, so she was, like, saying I was going to burn in hell and she was going to send me away because I was a troublemaker and she thought I was gay. There was a birthday talk. It was probably my 14th or 15th birthday. We went to North Carolina. I don't know if I mentioned this because I keep rambling, but Felicia said that my dad was a sexual predator of me when I was younger. And on the way back from North Carolina, I was in the front seat with Felicia, and Caitlin and Josh were asleep in the back seat. And she just is asking me about, like, what do I remember from that and this and that. And, like, obviously it's a lie. There's, like, I can't tell you that I remember something. But regardless, that whole thing, like, it just made me feel weird. Like, why are you trying to get me to, like, lie about things my dad sexually did to me? Like, that's just so weird in itself. But, like, I have no idea. Anyway, so I'm just sitting there uncomfortable and was just like, I don't know. And like, basically I like ended up saying, I just don't really want to talk about it right now. Like, it just makes me uncomfortable. What the fuck am I supposed to say? And she lost her ever loving shit. She woke Caitlin up by screaming and cussing at me. She sent me to the back seat, made Caitlin get up in the front. And at this time, Caitlin, like, it was the 9th grade. I think it was probably like the 7th grade where Caitlin like started to adapt to her mom's behavior towards me. Like, meaning like join in and stuff and like enjoy it and laugh at it. But yeah, so Caitlin now was obviously mad at me and they're up there making fun of me, and Felicia's going off and saying like I'm a disrespectful teenager and I'm very ungrateful for anything that she's given me. Like, she just spent all this money and I can't even have a conversation with her, and like she's looked out for me all these years and she keeps me safe from him, and da 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 da. But that was a fun birthday for sure. We would only go to church when she wanted us to sing if we had like our nieces and nephews spend the night before, so it would look like a bigger crowd. Because we went to, like, I say small, I mean like 6 people attended this church besides us. And excuse me. She just wanted a big group, so anytime that we went to church, it would be for singing, or she would make us go on a dance. Like, it would never just to be to go to church. We never read the Bibles at home, never prayed, never did scripture, and nothing's wrong with that because I don't read my Bible every day. Like, we were living lukewarm Christian lives, which sadly I feel like I am still to this day. But what bothers me is that she acts like she is this holy, godly woman, and she's not. And I just hope that she gets her conviction here on earth rather than on Judgment Day, because she needs it. But that's all I'm going to say. Sorry, I keep getting off topic. She used to make fake Instagram accounts to stalk people. She used to, mind you, I didn't have my phone. She made me a Facebook account, me an Instagram account. She would make Josh an Instagram account, Josh a Facebook account. Caitlin obviously had her own because she had her phone, and that's what teenagers do, you know, Instagram, Facebook. But she would still log on to Caitlin's Instagram and Facebook through her phone. And she would go to, like, girls that were in our high school, like secret Snapchat stories or like profile stories and stuff on Instagram through like Caitlin and stuff, and call their parents and tell them things that these girls were doing, which, okay, maybe she might have been like, I say like, maybe like she was doing a good thing, but that's just crazy. Like, she's just, I don't know. With the walking tall thing, she said we went through all these states and everything. The only place that we ever actually truly went for a walking tall thing was to New York City, and that was for a day. And that was only for a couple of hours. She did haircuts, and she did get some stylists together, and she did hair. And but after that, we went to a really nice dinner in New Jersey. Like, it was an expensive dinner, which we didn't have money like that. So that also like brings back to, where is this money going to? Like, obviously she had to be spending the donations, because she, to my knowledge, never had a different bank account for the Walking Tall ministry when she started it. So, yeah, and we went and stayed at the Hilton in New Jersey. Like, I know that's not expensive. I mean, I know that's not cheap. Like, we are the type of family to stay in motels. Like, we don't stay at Hiltons. So, like, I'm just like, she's had to have used that money, because, like, also right before that, she went and bought a brand new 2015 off the lot that night. Like, right after she starts to Walking Tall. So I'm a believer that she uses all this money for her own personal gain, because if she did not ask for these donations, she has no income. She has no job. She has no job. I saw somebody comment in this group saying about Felicia adopting the kid, and her first son, like Caitlin asking to adopt. Whatever. She gets money if she does foster, if she takes care of children from other families, and she does not want to actually work, and she makes it look like she works, and this way she has money to pay the bills. Like, if she did not have this Walking Tall building, and she did not have all the support that she has from these churches and ministries and governors and mayors and sheriffs and people in the news, she would be homeless herself. I truly believe it. Whenever my mom did come and get me, we had to call my father to let him know that I was going to live with my mom, so they wouldn't count me as a runaway. Felicia gave the wrong numbers to the school for my dad. My dad's never been involved in our lives since Felicia got into it. So that was not a surprise for me. But yeah. Anyway, the time she was working at a nursing home in the hair salon, there was, she would bring her dementia patients. Like, she would bring me all the time. And I'd have to go to every hair appointment with her. She used to have a cleaning service before she met my dad. And that probably lasted maybe a year or two when she first met my dad. She would pull me out of school to go clean these houses for her or with her. And yeah, I would be the only one having to. And like, I'm young at this point. Like, I don't want to clean a house. Like, yeah. But yeah, so same thing when she went through hair school and cosmetology school and stuff like that. She would take me to her appointments early in the morning. I would have to set up, clean up, take it away. Like, basically her right hand. And if there was anything that went wrong, if Felicia did anything wrong, like, it would be taken out on me. And but she goes to the salon. It's a homing salon, so there's a salon inside of this retirement home. She works there for, I don't know, a couple months. She used to make me go get the patients with dementia, and she would put capes on them, do their hair differently, and send it to their family members, basically saying that your mom, your dad, whatever, would come and saw me 5 times this week. And there would be like a lot of texts back saying, oh, well, my mom only was supposed to come to you twice, and like, we had this scheduled, this and that. And Felicia would be like, well, they're coming to me. I don't want to like break their hearts and decline their service, you know, make them turn around. And she's like, I just want to make them feel as good as they can. And in my eyes, I'm like, okay, yeah, but if you know that they have dementia and stuff, you can literally just do what you just did. You literally, like, she would run a curl line through their hair to curl it and then straighten it. Like, so it'd be, they wouldn't know the difference. And you could do that for free. That takes none of your time. But anyway, so one of the ladies was like obviously getting suspicious about it, started coming to the appointments with her mom. There was an appointment and I was there. And I can't remember what the mom was going to say to the daughter, but it was something about Felicia or something that Felicia did not want her to say. And Felicia pinches the back of her arm, and the lady gasped. I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to laugh. I'm sorry. But yeah, she pinches her arm and she says that, oh, the chair got you, sweetie, I'm sorry. And like, I'm just like, wow. But she would always pinch the back of my arm. And I thought, like, it's because, like, she just wants to abuse me, you know? Like, it just surprised me when she did it to an old lady, honestly. She had me set up a cleaning thing with my neighbor's house. Well, our neighbor's house. It was like a newly wedded couple. And I loved it because it got me out of the house after school for, like, at least an hour. But they would pay me. I don't remember how much they would pay me, but all that money went to Felicia. anything that I ever did to get any type of money, it all went to Felicia. She asked my parents for braces. Well, when I say my parents, it's my mom and my adoptive dad. When I did leave the house, it was probably a couple months into me, a year into me leaving the house, I think. My dad, David, gave up his rights to me, and so my stepfather that I've had in my life for a while, and we have a great relationship, he decided to adopt me. So when I say my parents, I'm talking about my mom and my adoptive dad. But so anyways, Felicia asked my parents for money because her and David want to get me braces, and yeah, never get braces. Always that tooth right there. I've grown to love my tooth. I guess like try to have a confidence in it, because maybe one day a little girl will like see me and be like, oh, she's a grown up, she never fixed her tooth, like she looks cute, you know. But yeah, I would get bullied to the death about that tooth from Felicia and Caitlin and Josh, and I just hated it. But yeah, she refused to get me braces. I've asked once to my dad, like when we were living in Wagner, but never got braces. I don't know where that money went. Also couldn't do cheer, but Caitlin was on the cheer team. Caitlin went to a Super Bowl halftime show one year for her school or our school or some type of cheer thing that she signed up for. But my Felicia asked my parents for money because she said I was going as well, and they like, when I say she asked for money, she's asking for like $250 to like $500, like things that you need to plan for. You can't just whoop out of your butthole. Okay. Never did the cheer. I went along, but I never did it. There was nothing that needed to be paid for me. But again, I think that money just went to like our gas or food, the hotel stay. I'm not exactly sure where that money went. I'm not even sure if my parents sent that money at that point, because she had asked them for money for so many years, and they were just like, well, we can give it to that person directly. And Felicia's like, no, you need to write it out to me. So they just stopped giving her money at one point. There was one time we used to go to Myrtle Beach, and she would always say it was her friend's house. Anytime we would go, it would always be her baby daddy, or her friend's baby daddy that was at the house at the time. And she would always just tell us that he's just staying here to watch the kid until his baby mama comes home, which I like now looking at it, I believe that that was actually a dude's house Felicia was going to stay at. Like there was never a girlfriend that she was going to stay with, and this is in Myrtle Beach. But yeah, she used to go down there, and I'm pretty sure she was cheating on my dad, but that used to be her weed dealer. I didn't find that out until after I left the house, but and when I say weed dealer, I don't mean like they given her like so much. I'm talking like it was enough to probably smoke like 2 blunts. And the reason I say that is because she went on another trip, because Felicia loved taking overnight trips, like just to go anywhere, for no reason, no good reason. But it would always just be me, Caitlin, and Felicia. She would always just leave Josh at the house to watch my dad. But the reason I say it wasn't a lot of weed is because one time when we came back from the Myrtle Beach trip, we went to another trip, and my dad ended up smoking the weed. But I think she said that he had smoked the blunt. So that's why I'm thinking it wasn't a lot of weed she was getting. Excuse me. But regardless, yeah, just, my parents had a trampoline at their house. They moved. They couldn't put the trampoline in the backyard because it was like a liability. They needed to pay taxes on it for something. So they decided to gift me, Caitlin, and Josh the trampoline. My parents drove down to Aiken and dropped me off because At this point, Felicia refused to let me go see my mom. If I did, Kayla would have to come, or they would have to come pick me up from Spartanburg, or from Aiken, take me to Spartanburg, and from Spartanburg back to Aiken just to see me. And half the time, Felicia would text my mom as me saying, I don't want to come see you, I don't want to do this, or cut the trip short, basically. So one day my parents are dropping me back off at the house. Felicia and my dad are on a trip somewhere coming back, I think from the mountains, and Caitlin and Josh are at their dad's. I'm at the house alone. I have the trampoline. I build the trampoline by myself. Felicia tells me that she told my dad that she said Quentin, which is the guy that grabbed my hand in the hallway and I got a beating for it, a spanking. She told and this is after that, so this is also crazy to me. She told him that he came and helped me because she didn't want him to know that I put it together by myself, because then I would have gotten praise for doing something like that by myself, I guess. So she told my dad that Quentin came over to the house, and yeah, so she told that lie. And then later on the week, guess who got in trouble? Me. Why? Because I had a guy at the house by myself. And you want to know what's crazy is my dad didn't even say that. Like, my dad wasn't even worried about it. Felicia, like a couple weeks after, or a couple days after, a week after, she told him that Quentin came over to help on the trampoline. Felicia started telling me I was the one that had a guy in the house. Like, she started believing her own lies to herself, and she was like, you had a guy in the house, or you had a guy over, and you know you're not supposed to. I was just, yes. There would be so many times where I would try to take a mini power nap in the floor of the laundry room on the mound of clothes that we had. And I would always wake up in a panic because I would not, like, I'm not allowed to sleep. But I would be so tired. There was one time that I was, we had a mound of clothes on our bed that I was folding, and I just, like, had this, and I feel like I taught myself to, like, be able to close my eyes, but still be able to hear what's going on. But, yeah, one time I did it here, and, Caitlin came down, and I got in trouble by Caitlin, like, in a lot of trouble. And I say a lot of trouble, they just, like, yelled at me, and, made me do more chores, eat another peanut butter sandwich, like, just tell me that I was stupid, and, like, yeah. When I came back from the 6th grade, they all three, Caitlin, Josh, and Felicia, always told me that I told them that I was in a special needs class when I was living with my mom in the 6th grade, and that I had to wear a helmet. And, they said I said that, so I said that. I did not say that. That didn't happen. I really don't know where they got that from, because normally when they would say things, like, they would try to take, like, little hint words out of things, but I never said anything of that. So I really don't even know where they got that from. But yeah, that's what they would tell me. And I've always wanted to be a teacher, and I've always wanted to be a special education teacher for middle school. And they would, and Josh is the one that actually came up with this joke, but he would say that you can tell your students that anything is possible, because if I can do it, you can do it. Meaning, like, if I'm dumb and stupid enough to be able not to wear a helmet and teach special education, which they would always say also, that's the only thing you would ever be able to teach, because you're retarded and they're retarded, so it doesn't even matter. Which, forgive me for saying the R word, but that's what they said, and it's sickening. It's honestly it's sick. But yeah, so Josh would always say, like, you can tell the kids that, and they have something to look forward to in their life, because if you can be a decent person to teach somebody, then they can do anything, you know. Anyway, she took me to a mental doctor. I think this was, like, this was like 9th grade. Y'all, so much happened in the 9th grade. But 9th grade, she took me to a mental doctor and told me how to act, told me what to say, told me what to do. So I did. They come back and they say that I had a mild form of Tourette's syndrome and that I had severe anxiety, which the severe anxiety, I believe, the Tourette's, I mean, I guess you can decide for yourself. But anyway, she decided to go tell my whole 9th grade class. But basically everybody that I knew and that Caitlin knew that I had Tourette's and I was special. And that also plugged in with their story of me going into 6th grade at my mom's into a special needs class. Yes. I feel like there's so much more I can do and talk about, but this video has already been an hour and almost 20 minutes. But yeah, so basically I just want to say thanks for the support. Thanks for watching if you watched. But in me, my personal, I'm very happy that I'm finally able to, I guess, expose her of like what she's done to me. This is my story, my truth. This is what's happened to me. If somebody decides not to believe me and thinks that she is still a good person, I mean, maybe she might be a good person to you. I'm not asking anybody to believe me. I'm not asking anything ill of Felicia. I don't want anything to happen. Even when I told my guidance counselor, when I first told somebody, I told him, I was like, I just want to go live with my mom. Like, I just want out of the house. I was like, I don't want Felicia to get in any trouble. I don't want her kids to be taken. I don't want any backlash. I just want to leave. Which obviously I feel like through the years I not regret it, but I just feel like I could have gotten some justice, I guess, for the way she treated me. But yeah, anyway, if I think of anything else, knowing me, I probably will, and I might make like a little another video. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for all your support and all what you're doing to get this brought to light. Not just this, my story, but like the effect it's having on your community, and like finally bringing it to light to get the help and resources that y'all actually need. And if there's any questions, anything that anybody has, please feel free to reach out. Yeah, thank you.